There is a tsunami coming in the HOA condominium community. Forced assessments are coming. If you've been following the new legislation that happened in 2022 that could wind up forcing you to owe hundreds of thousands of dollars if you buy one of these, you got to know what to do if you're purchasing these, if you own one, or if you're getting ready to sell one, because there's a tsunami of assessments coming due to the new Florida law that was passed in 2022, and I'm going to talk about that in this video. One of the biggest things I want to do is educate you on some things that you need to know before you buy one of these condos and the tsunami that's coming. If you own a property that's over 30 years old in one of these condominiums or condominium associations, if you own one 25 years or older and you're within 3 miles of the ocean, you need to listen very carefully, because I want to save you as much money as possible and save you from all the headaches. This building behind me right here is in the category of that 25-year-old building that is coming up for these forced assessments. This one right here is in the category for those forced assessments. Look, if you are owning one of these properties and you have not been paying attention to Senate Bill 4D in the state of Florida, which is basically making everybody do a SIRS study. This is a study for the structural integrity of these buildings. Remember the Champlain condo that fell to pieces, completely collapsed? The Champlain Towers, I hope I pronounced that correctly. Well, when it collapsed, Florida legislature got in action and said, you know what, we need to make sure that every 10 years, these condos are doing an assessment, structural integrity assessment, a study on whether they're good to go. Well, when they do this, they look into things like the roof, the plumbing, everything structural walls, pillars, any type of thing that could hurt the safety of these buildings. And if they find some type of repair needed over $10,000, they have to reserve that money, put it in a reserve fund. What does that mean? Who's going to pay for it? The owners of the condos are going to get a nice assessment from their HOA and from the board that they need to put the money in a fund to future repair costs of this building. You know, maintenance has gone up, insurance has gone up, HOAs, they're going up. So if you're getting caught on a fixed income, or you just didn't know the bill was coming, or you bought this thing really cheap, and then all of a sudden you get hit by, oh, we need $100,000 assessment on your property. Well, they're either going to try to sell these things, and I'm not talking about this one in particular. I'm using this as like a demonstration point. I'm out here on Pensacola Beach in a public area just looking at buildings on the horizon that fit this category. And now they're going to take that money and put it into a fund. And when they put that money into a fund, it's going to be used for the future roof, all these things that needs to be done. So in the past, a lot of these HOA boards, sorry if it's windy out here, it's the beach, but they could vote to kick the can down the road. And so we're not going to do that this year. We're going to wait until next year, the next year, the next year. And if you were on the board and you knew you were going to sell soon, you would just try to push that off onto the next owner. Well, now all of a sudden the Florida legislature said you can't do that anymore. And come December 2024, these are due. Those assessments are due. I'm hearing, because as a real estate agent here in the state of Florida, I am hearing people getting caught with these assessments left and right. So I want you to be careful on these things. Make sure you don't fall for it. If you're using a real estate agent, make sure they check these assessments. Make sure the title company checks these assessments. Make sure you look into these HOAs. Make sure that they have been audited, that they have the liquidity to cover all these things, to where all of a sudden you don't, out of the clear blue, as soon as you close, get hit with some type of assessment. And some of these condos, you're not able to sell the property then pay it off. They're just making them pay it. Depends on what the covenants say and what's in the CCRs of all these different HOAs, condominium associations, etc., etc. So if the building is 3 stories or more, and if it's over 30 years old or 25 years old or within 3 miles of the beach or of the ocean or of the water, you're going to fall into this category. And if you're building somewhere in that window, well, you better look out, because it's coming down the pipe. These 10-year rolling studies are going to come back to bite you in the butt. And if you're owning them for an Airbnb, short-term rental, anything like that, well then, there goes your cash flow. There will be no more vote to defer these costs. It is a pay now type of thing. So you really got to look at it. If you're looking to buy, know it. If you're looking to sell, know it. If you're an agent and you are putting in a contract, make sure you're protecting your buyer by forcing those things to be paid before you actually close, vice versa. Be forward planning on these things. They actually came over and wanted to know what I was filming. Usually when you do stories like this, people don't like for you to do anything like that. But I was in a public parking lot doing a public story, you know, the media type stuff. Always wild why a lot of people want to obstruct First Amendment activities. One, because it covers up corruption and things that, you know, people should be covering. Like, people need to know if they're going to be assessed for hundreds of thousands of dollars in the future. I'm not saying these buildings are going to do it. I'm saying that possibly it could actually happen. I feel like that's something we see a lot of nowadays, is censorship of whether weaponizing the law enforcement, keep you from being able to make stories like this, because this stuff is happening. It was covered up with the National Association of Realtors. It was covered up with a lot of things. So don't get caught by these things. Sellers will have to pay in full before closing. You got to know this is coming. And if you've got time, the building is not up here pretty soon, well, you better start planning your exit strategy, because it's going to catch the condo world by storm. It's going to collapse the market if anything hasn't already. HOA fees are going up. Insurance fees are going up for inside content. Some of them have gone up 200%. My personal insurance has gone up 30% on my house. Now let's factor that by a giant building. Okay, it is the perfect tsunami for the condo association world, the condo world, to lose its value right off the top. If you happen to be looking to buy or sell real estate on the Gulf Coast, Alabama or Florida, my email and contact information is in the description box. Feel free to reach out to me. If I can't help you, I'll find somebody that can. You know, I have no idea who it was that was coming over to question why I was filming and doing this story on those buildings. They just came out of nowhere. And it was wild when I looked over, there was somebody like hiding in the bushes down the walkway filming me. They had a camera on me, and they thought it was weird that I was filming something in public on a public sidewalk on public property, but yet they were filming me. And they came all the way around from the other side of the other building to come and talk to me. But yet the man was hiding in the bushes. I feel like there's a lot of things that people don't want us to talk about, and when they see us out there pointing and talking about certain things that might cost somebody hundreds of thousands of dollars, who knows? But you know, I was actually talking to another real estate agent this afternoon, and he was saying exactly what I'm saying in this video. And he had a client. It's going to cost them $100,000 in assessments. This stuff is coming. It's like a perfect storm between insurance going up, new commercial caps on rent rising per year, the NAR settlement, the ability for real estate agents to go out there and sell properties like they used to. It's gotten a lot harder. There's a learning curve. People are trying to figure it out. We've got the market growing cold, and now let's sprinkle in right on top this crazy Sears study that is coming in and just causing a fiasco all at once. Like, all at once, all of a sudden people are getting hit with these, because you know the condo associations waited to the last minute to tell people, and most people weren't tracking these things. That's why I'm making these videos. So I want you to comment down below if you're seeing these things in your market. If you're experiencing it, comment down below so everybody can read about this and learn about it so it doesn't catch them. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And sorry if I was a little brash on this one, but this one was pretty rough, and it came from the heart that I knew people were on fixed incomes and all of a sudden getting hit with $100,000 bill, an assessment. So I'll see you guys on the next video.